Okay. Let's take a look at an example where we look at an alert once we do an on-click. So I'll bring up Notepad. And then start my web page, start my header, start my title. This is an example of an alert. In my title, in my header section, start my body, in my body, and in my HTML. Okay, so I come up here and I'll say, what is global warming? Okay. Now I'm going to put an input box here. So I'll say input, and then the type is going to be a button. So type is equal to button. Not input box, input element. And then value equals, click here for answer. Okay. And then down here I'm going to say on click equals, and then double quotes to start my code, and I'll have an alert. And I'll say global warming is due to the buildup. And then if it's going to go to more than one line, you can close that with a single quote, and then do a plus for concatenation. It means they'll concatenate them together. Do the buildup of some kind of gas. You can see my science is very strong, but I guess I need to actually start that with a single quote. Okay. Start some gas. And then I'll do a closing parentheses on the alert, and then a semicolon to close off that line, and then a closing double quote to close the on-click event. And then I'm going to do a closing parentheses for the input. Now, assuming I don't get any syntax errors, let's see what that gives us. So I'm going to click File, Save, and I call this alert1.html, and I'll change this to all files, and then click Save. Okay, so come over here, click alert1, right click on that and say open with Google Chrome. Okay, what is global warming? Click here for the answer. So if I click that, global warming is due to the buildup of some kind of gas. Now, this is just one example of an alert, but oftentimes alerts are used to help you figure out where in the code you're located at. Sometimes you just use them to see, because when you got an error, sometimes it's not so easy to see where your error is. And so that allows you to see the progression of the code. There's other ways to do that too, which we'll take a look at. But that's an example of an alert.